Happy Sunday, traders. I'm Jake, a technical financial trader. Every Sunday, we share our insight on the market. Last week was very interesting. We saw the pound rally 900 pips, but there is certainly a lot of concern from the UK policymaker. So some of my members asked, how could it rally up like that? It's purely that it was really oversold a week before, so some buyback is quite normal in the market. The main question is, can the pound rally continue this week? The US market wasn't doing an awful lot last week. The S&P 500 was trading sideways from 3,600 area to around 3,700. So it's only 100 points. Nasdaq was trading around 11,000 to 11,500, again trading sideways. I'm still bearish, but the question is, can we see a bounce before the selling continue, or are we going to break this support and continue drifting lower? The cryptocurrency market again was trading sideways. Bitcoin, Ethereum literally was just trading like that last week. I'm still bearish, but I want to see a little bounce before I will consider to take on any more short position. Gold is looking very interesting. I think the pattern's looking very similar like the 2012, 2013. So we could see a lot of downside coming. If any of the topic interests you, then I would love to personally invite you to join our community. It is absolutely free, and all my members get to see my full trading plan first before anyone else. It's very simple to join. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel, drop me a comment, then I'll add you to my community. Thank you. All right, let's start off with the stock market first, S&P 500. Daily, you can see the last week was just doing this, trading sideways. Where do we go from here? I mean, that's two options here. I think possibly we still can have a little bounce, break this, and then back to this 3,900 zone. That could be an option because it's looking a little bit tired on the daily. But the sentiment still remain bearish. So we drop down to the hourly. So now we are breaking the hourly lower lows. The question is, can we have a lower high on hourly? So I like to see if the sentiment remain bearish. This is very important to stay lower than the 3,627 area, around this zone area. On Monday, we could see the daily pivot step down in here, so 3,620 areas remained below here, then I could consider to be a seller again, but keep it intraday. I'll use the momentum to consider my entry on that. So I'll check the volume before the gaps and volume during open time before my my decision to be a seller or not. Moving on to Nasdaq. Let's go back to the daily first. You can see again, we are at the low area from June, so we're at this low point now. Can we see a bounce? We could see a bounce back to this 12,000, just under 12,000 area. The new monthly pivot should be, it's not showing yet because it's Sunday, but yeah, we could well be coincide this area around 12,000 area. Keep an eye on that on Monday. If it bounce up there, then yes, I will be a seller then, which will make it a little bit easier. Okay, so that's option one. Option two would be similar like the S&P 500, drop down to the hourly. Price need to, it's not as clear as that, but yeah, we may see a little bounce back to this. Sorry, let me just get rid of that. We may see a little bounce to here, around 11,100 area. Let me check the previous daily pivot. Yeah, so S1, yeah, we will see, it has to remain under a new daily pivot on Monday. Then I might consider to be a seller again, but most likely I will short the S&P 500 and Nasdaq, okay? Moving on to the Dow. The Dow is similar anyway. So we have broken the June low, which is quite bearish for the Dow Jones, but I don't trade that awful lot anyway. And the question again is that this area here, could we see a little bounce? Yeah, could we see like, a little bounce before the selling continue, or are we going to continue sell lower? So collate these three markets together for your decision on Monday. Okay. Moving on to the Forex market. I'm going to start with the dollar index first. Dollar index now is, having a daily phase 2. Back to the zone, what we mark 110.50 area. So the question is, I don't think it's done yet because we could see a range here for a few days. It could be here. Let's see, low test and then drift lower. We could see that. The reason being that is Euro still got a little bit of room to the upside on that. So I think Euro could potentially go back to here, which is I think 9940, something like that. Yeah, 9940 area. So we could see a pop higher on Euro first before I will conduct any more selling on Euros. Therefore, the dollar index could range there or pop a bit lower first. Pound was an interesting one last week. The British pound was very interesting. I mean, if you are purely looking at the news, it's almost like impossible for you to buy. I didn't get involved anyway. I don't like this. I'm not a reversal trader. I'm not a big reversal trader. But pound did rally 900 pips in a week, which is significant, right? So we drop around that and then we'll bounce around that. So it's like a V shape. Where do we go from here? I still have no interest in around this area. It's too late. It was around here. Yeah, it could be, but it's no man's land. Now, because of this unusual behavior, big exhaustive selling, you can totally disregard this area now, I think. Just ignore that part. Therefore, I might consider, will I be a seller? Let's see. I think it will pop higher. If it stay below here, then maybe I will sell it back to below here. But I think the Euro will be more appropriate to sell anyway. The question is, will I be a buyer at this level? We shall see. But that won't happen until a week or two anyway. But certainly this kind of price action behavior is not something that I'm getting excited about. Moving on to Aussie. I'm not very keen on this price action. Weekly is already way in phase 1, and then we do have the central bank interest rate decision. So if it pops a bit higher, great, I'll look to be a seller. But lower, maybe I'll intraday, but probably will intraday the stock market rather than the forex market anyway. Kiwi quite similar. We've already really, we're coming down to a low level that we haven't seen for a while. So I'm not going to chase. Daily, I would like to see a pullback back to, I said many times, maybe under 58, 60 area here before I will conduct any more sell on the Kiwi. I'm not interested in Canadian dollar. I'm not interested in Swiss franc, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. Japanese yen, again, I said if we drop below this bearish engulfing bar, then I'll look to be a short-term buyer of yen, selling the dollar. So 140. However, since that bearish engulfing bar, we've just been trading inside that, so I have zero interest either above or below. Then I will below, of course, I'll be a seller. Above, then I'll be a buyer. At the moment, I'm sitting on the sideline. Gold is very, very interesting. Okay, price action currently are looking very similar, like here, like the 2011 to 2013, and the drift lower. Look at the price action. Apart from this little spike there, it's looking quite identical. Now we have broken through support. So I do see it drifting lower, okay, to around the 1450 area. Let me drop down to daily and I will show you what could potentially happen. All right. Yes, we did have a high test on Friday, but pay attention. We had a high test in here or in August, break lower and then drift higher. I see that happen as well, something similar. So could Monday draw you in and then drift higher. So I'm not going to be a seller just yet. The reason being is certain gold mining stock are still in the phase 2 and still got a little bit of room to the upside. So I will watch that very carefully, and I will give you guys a full sort of in-depth video on gold. How am I going to play it in the middle of the week? Okay, so stay tuned, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. If you don't subscribe, you might miss out on that. Ultimately, I still want to be a seller on gold, and I see a good reward to risk trade on that, but it's just not quite ready yet. Another factor that makes me think it's not ready is silver. Silver is still in phase 2. Look at that. We are still in this phase 2 and still above the $18 area. So we could see a little bounce before 20 area again before we will sell. But I will sell gold because gold is cleaner and it's below support. When it's under 18, then I might add into silver. But let's see. Oil, I have zero interest because this kind of price action is just not not my cup of tea to trade. So I'll leave it for the moment. Cryptocurrency, again, price action is not great, but the commitment of trader is interesting. So I will show you the commitment of trader. Bear with me. Okay, the Bitcoin commitment of trader data showing the commercial is still increasing on the short contract. Okay, that's one factor. Another one is the macro contract, the future contract is still, breaking all-time high, continue to put pressure on the short contract, so increasing on that. All right, so that's looks bearish to me. Ethereum, again, more selling, a little bit of buying, but very, very minimal on the buying side. So I think they're seeing the hedge to the downside. So I am still remaining bearish on cryptocurrency. Okay, I use Bitcoin and Ethereum as my main guy or for other cryptocurrency. Let's get into the chart. The chart is looking less interesting. Bitcoin is still trading sideways, so you can see we're still hovering around this 19,000, 18,000 area. Can we see a pop higher? Depending on the indice, if we can see a pullback, I see this pop a bit higher, then maybe I'll sell around this area, which is under 22,400 area. I might be a seller, but ultimately, if we drop below this 18, then yes, definitely I will look to short Bitcoin. Ethereum on the other side, my plan hasn't changed for the last couple of weeks. I still think it's best to wait for a little pullback because it's been trading sideways like that. So a little pullback back to this. Let me get the exact price for you guys. Around this 1,550 area, I'll look for good price action to short it lower. Okay. So that's all for my plan this week. It does require a little bit of patience to see whether the indices can have a bounce or continue to break lower. If breaks lower, intraday lower, bounce higher, happy days. Then end of day trade, which is my my expertise. I like to trade like that. Again, on the dollar side, we probably have to wait and see what's going to happen. I think it could drift for a few more days. If you do have any question, you can communicate with me on my Discord channels. Otherwise, have a good week and I'll see you guys around. Thank you.